Hello, Westman, and welcome to one more edition of our show, Cafe Diversity. On this show, we take you on a weekly journey to meet the diverse people that live in Westman and the many ways in which they contribute to our communities. The show is brought to you by WCGTV and Westman Immigrant Services. My name is Jaime Chinchilla. I am the Cultural Diversity Facilitator for Westman Immigrant Services, and today I have the pleasure to have with me two people that are going to talk about a wonderful event. Natalia Lebedinskaya from the Art Gallery of Southwestern Manitoba, and Erin Gobet from the Brandon Global Market. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
So I just mentioned that we like to meet people here, so that's the first thing we're going to do. Let us know who you are. So Natalia, why don't you start and tell us what do you do at the Art Gallery and where do you come from and all that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm the curator of contemporary art at the Art Gallery. So I'm responsible for curating and organizing the exhibitions in the main and the community gallery, and also participating in programming such as the Culture Days that we're going to be talking about, a little bit kind of as a adjacent programming that builds on the ideas that come through in my exhibitions. And I'm actually originally from Moscow in Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, and here in Brandon via Montreal and Halifax.
That's really good because this show is all about diversity, and we like when we have people coming from other places, especially when they are involved in doing community building and events in Brandon. We love that. So, Erin, you have been here before.
I have.
And so you are a friend to this program. So tell us again, for people that's watching for the first time, who are you and what do you do at the Brandon Global Market?
Yes, I am. I'm originally, I've lived here in Brandon for 8 years, but I came here from Calgary and Winnipeg. And yeah, I'm the Global Market Coordinator here in downtown Brandon at 12th and Roster. And we've just created a big open space that people can come and create and express who they are and sell, local produce and handmade gifts, or if you have a home business, you can come down and do Tai Chi. So just a great open space for the community to come down and get involved and express who they are and be welcome.
Now, Brandon Global Market is one of my favorite places. So let's do a little bit of advertising here.
Okay.
What days does the market open?
So right now throughout the summer, we go Thursdays and Saturdays. So it's Thursdays from 4 till 7 in the evenings, and then we always have live music from 5 till 7. And Saturday mornings from 9 till 1. And that goes right to the end of September. So come October, we just do Saturday mornings from 9 till 1. And then it's very exciting that this year we are starting the first indoor winter market at 23 12th Street, which is right beside the market. And that's going to take place November 1st. And we'll carry on through the winter until we can go back outside again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting news. Now, my question is, we have an art gallery person and a food, craft, and other items markets person. What brings you together today?
Well, Culture Days.
Culture Days.
Which brings all of those things together as well for the events in Brandon.
What is exactly Culture Days?
Well, Culture Days was started in 2009. It's a nationwide campaign, and it's a not-for-profit organization that was developed to create awareness, accessibility, participation, and engagement within citizens for the art and culture within their community. So that's basically what Culture Days is. So we've joined forces along with some other people, and we are going to celebrate the art and culture in wonderful Brandon.
Now that's a lot of words in one sentence. So you're creating all that, but how does it happen? What is the event itself? Is it several days? It happens in one single day?
Well, the nationwide campaign is over 3 days, September 26th, 27th, 28th. So you can go out and say, I love culture through those 3 days. I know the Art Gallery has it for a couple days, but for this year, the Global Market is just hosting one big event on September 27th. So yeah, we kind of, instead of spreading it out throughout the 3 days, we've just decided to condense it onto one day and just go big and do it right.
Yeah, and our events are also kind of concentrated really on Saturday.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting. So Culture Days is an event that is national first, and that happens all across the country during those 3 days.
Right.
Did I get it right? So
Right.
in Brandon, we have several events, not only one, that are connected with the same idea of being part of the Culture Days national event. And one of them is happening at the Brandon Global Market, while the art gallery has other activities.
Yes.
Right.
So
Well-
can you, Natalia, tell us a little bit about what's going on at the art gallery during Culture Days?
Well, there's actually many things, and they're really spread to reflect different areas of programming that we have at the art gallery. So we're transforming all of our studios into an open house workshop where we've invited local artists, prominent local artists, to come and create work there, but also to involve people who come through so that they can also try out different art techniques, maybe learn something that they hadn't ever tried out before, ask artists questions about their practices, things like that. And then I'm going to be giving curator tours of the exhibitions in the main gallery. And we also will have a scavenger hunt between the global market and the art gallery. So we'll hopefully get some people to come between, move between the two spaces. And we also have an opening in the community gallery of a project that I'm really excited about called Seeing Through the Eyes of Another, which documents the immigrant experience in Brandon through the eyes of recent immigrants, which is a project initiated by University of Manitoba. I think it's connected to University of Calgary as well, and we've partnered with them to show some of the photographs and excerpts from interviews that they've collected over the past number of years.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a lot going on. Now, is all this going out throughout the 3 days? Or
No, it's really like kind of the event part of it is concentrated on Saturday. The Photo Voice exhibition will open Saturday, but then will remain open until actually beginning of November. So there will be many opportunities to come and see it. There will also be an interactive component where people will be able to leave their own kind of thoughts and comments or pictures in either English or their native language. And we'll kind of monitor that and see what comes out of that dialogue as well. And there's going to be some public events linked to the exhibition in October, but that's outside of kind of the Culture Days.
And I know one of
framework.
the ideas of Culture Days is that people can experience culture rather than, a lot of times we go to shows and we listen to music,
Yes.
watch plays and do all that, but you're an spectator. But Culture Days is about taking cultures with your hands, if you will,
Exactly.
and playing with it.
Yeah, and you'll be able to do a lot of that at the art gallery because just some of the artists who will be in the studios are, for example, Chris Reed, who is a local prominent painter, and she will lead a group activity where people will be able to participate in a collaborative drawing or painting. Kurt Schultz, who is famous for his illustration and drawing, will also lead a collaborative drawing project. Wei Ming Zhao will be there painting, as he is often painting throughout Brandon. And he will also welcome questions and students to come join him and paint if they wanted to. Dwayne Claridge will be in the ceramic studio where he will be making his own work, but also people who will come by will be welcome to try out and make something themselves. And really excitingly, Basma Kavanagh, who was just shortlisted for the CBC Poetry Prize. She's also a fabulous bookmaker and printmaker, and she'll be in the print studio with Elaine Rounds, another bookmaker and printmaker, and they will be making artist books, and people will be welcome to come and see both what they're doing, and they'll instruct people how to make their own.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I just want to make this clear for people that the art gallery is the place to be on September 27th.
27th.
And what time does it open?
It's between 12 o'clock and 4.
12 o'clock. And I'm really interested in what's going on in the market at the same time, but also during the whole day, right? Because you have events ongoing during good part of the day.
Right, yes. So we have the event going on from 9 till 3 on September 27th. So ours is a nice full day, and then also with a scavenger hunt happening throughout the day to get people to go between both venues, as it is really important to let everybody experience all the art that we have to offer. I mean, it's pretty fantastic.
And you have some painters and things at the global marketplace as well.
Right, we have Erin May coming down to do her art, quilt art installation, which she's developed over the years, and it's really, really lovely. So that will be on display. We'll also have a little bit of the Photo Voice on display at the market as well. And we have a local photographer from Third Story Studios, who's setting up a photo booth that you can come and, you know, get some really fun pictures taken and dress up and have a good time. And then we also have an artist, a painter coming from Winnipeg that will be selling some of her acrylics and oils at the market as well. So, I mean, it is a really interactive day for all who want to attend.
Now, it's really interesting that you're mentioning a lot of different events that, you know, are representative of different sides of culture.
Mm-hmm.
People tend to think sometimes about culture, and they think that, you know, it's something that, again, you have to go sit, watch, and be quiet and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
culture has too many other sides. And you're making an effort to bring all those sides to the event this year.
Right.
Now, you're part of a committee, right? Who else is organizing the Culture Days in Brandon?
So we also have, aside from the art gallery, have the Fair Trade Committee, and they've joined forces with us because Brandon is now a Fair Trade town. So we are also doing a Fair Trade town celebration within the Culture Days. So we also have them. We have Westman Immigrant Services on board. We have support from the Brandon Neighborhood Renewal Corporation and also from the City of Brandon. And we also have the International Women's Food and Craft Market, who have also helped plan this day.
Now, that means that there's going to be delicious food.
That means there is going to be lots of delicious food. Yes, arepas, chorizos, pupusas, fair trade cupcakes, lots of food. So come on an empty stomach.
And another little advertising, that's part of the food that you can find at the global market.
On a
as part of
regular
the
Saturday
program,
morning.
But there are also going to be specialty items just for Culture Days. Can you let people know about those? I heard the word cake before off camera. So.
Yes, so just because we are a fair trade town now, the second one in Manitoba, it is really important to bring awareness to this and to educate people the importance of fair trade. So the women who are always making these delicious foods at the market are making some fair trade cupcakes that will be given out to the public who come. So that will be available. We are also incorporating your good old Canadian culture with a poutine eating contest that day as well. So, I mean, we really kind of have it all that day.
Yeah, no, and I that's one of the things I love. You know,
Yeah.
I was talking about different parts of culture, and usually the mainstream culture, what everybody does, there's a reason why everybody does it a lot of times, right? And in this case, everybody knows that poutine is good. So.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and you were mentioning before, because we were talking about food off cameras, we were getting hungry too. But even if you're vegetarian, you'll be able to eat poutine that day with special gravy. Can you go
Yes.
more on that?
Yes, I have volunteered my husband to be in the poutine eating contest, and we are both vegetarians. So if you are a vegetarian and you want to join the poutine eating contest, we will have a vegetarian gravy available for you that you can indulge in the poutine eating contest.
That's good. Now,
Yeah.
the word contest usually means there is a prize.
There
What's
is
the prize
a prize. We have 2 confirmed prizes already. One from the Farmery, which is a local beer producer, just outside of Neepawa. And then we also have the Jets organization, who has very generously donated a wonderful prize to the contest. So I still have some feelers out there, and fingers crossed they'll come through, and we'll have some more great prizes. But those are the 2 that I can talk about now in an undisclosed way.
Yes.
Now, we have been talking a lot and really fast, and I want people to really be now writing down their schedules for Culture Days and making sure that they're going to attend events. So if we want to do that for people right now, what are the events with the times from the opening to the closing?
Right, so at the Global Market in the morning, we have a local musician coming down to play from 9 till 10, and then we also have a magic show happening at 10 o'clock. And then at 11 o'clock, we have some guest speakers. 12 o'clock, we have the poutine eating contest. And then in the afternoon, we have dance lessons, salsa lessons, belly dancing lessons. We have some great music and musicians coming throughout the afternoon. We have the New Celtic String Band and Kelly J. And then we also have an interactive choir that you can come take part in. The scavenger hunt is happening throughout the afternoon. We have a Viking demonstration happening.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so it's really sporadic, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's
But
go
that's
throughout
important
the whole day.
because it sounds like live music is happening in the afternoon, and in the
Right.
morning we have kids activities like the magic show.
Right, right.
And so it's important for people to
They need to come from
because
9
they
till
also
3.
need to go
and-
to the art gallery. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a full day of fun activities downtown between the two locations. I mean, it's nonstop, so I mean, you should be having a really fun day.
Natalia, if you can summarize as well with times
Oh,
for
for
people
sure.
to be able to make up their minds.
Yes. So the activities at the art gallery are from noon until 4. And if you come at any point in that day, there will be someone working in different studios doing different things. So there isn't quite as strict of a schedule as with the global marketplace in terms of when things are happening. But my tours of the shows will take place at 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. It will be the same tour at 1 as at 3. So if you can't make it to one of them because you're still eating poutine, you will be able to make it to the other one because you will be full and ready to listen to conversation about art. And likewise, they can ask me anything about the shows. And it's an opportunity really the entire afternoon to ask artists and curators and whoever else is milling around from the art gallery things that people don't often get to ask artists because their process is usually kind of contained in their studios and very private. So in that sense, it's kind of a glimpse into lives of artists.
There you go. So I hope that
Yeah.
people now have made up their minds and they have a schedule what they're going to do that day. There are things that you don't want to miss, and you want to make this a day full of culture. Now, when you have so much wonderful things happening at one or two places, and you have food and all that, there's always one question that comes to mind. Is it free?
Yes,
All
it
of it.
is. And it's open to all ages. And we will have a surprise kids activity too. So
So you just have to come
They
either
just have
to
to
the
come.
Brandon Global Market or to the art gallery and enjoy a day full of culture.
yes.
Yeah, everything's free, and you can participate and try new things and ask as many questions as you want with the artists and the musicians, and just make a full day of it.
Now you were mentioning, and now I'm going back to the beginning of the show. You were mentioning about Culture Days, that it is a non-for-profit organization now that started 4 years ago, and it's about making people, live and know that culture is so important in our lives. How do you get involved in branding? Maybe some people and performers out there are thinking, how do we participate? How do we make part? So if you can explain the process of how it started in Brandon and how you can become part of next year's Culture Days.
Well, at the Global Market, I mean, you can always email me at globalmarketbrandon@gmail.com. You can also call me at 573-8046. And I mean, anytime you want to be involved as an artist or a musician or as a volunteer, I mean, we'll definitely try and we'll get you in somewhere. I mean, we'll make you a part of it no matter what. In terms of next year, I mean, yeah, we'll start planning it for next year already, and we'll just keep going with it. But those are probably the two easiest ways to get a hold of me. And then also, if you're at the market, you can come and talk to me right there because I'm always at the market too. So there's many ways that you can become involved with it. And I mean, the great thing about Culture Days is that you do bring awareness to it, like all these wonderful events happening throughout that day. But we want to carry it on through the year, right? We want to bring awareness and interaction that we can celebrate culture like 364 other days a year, So I think that's really important for everybody to realize.
Now, when you have something like this so wonderful, and as I said before, so full of different things to do, you need money to do all this. Who is supporting Culture Days in Brandon?
Well, right now
Besides all the organizations, maybe we should mention them again.
Yeah,
And
so-
then I know there might be some other organizations and sponsors.
Right now, we have some support from the City of Brandon, which is wonderful, and then also through the Brandon Neighborhood Renewal Corporation. We have some funding through them to help put this event on. Our sound system that we have at the Global Market, I mean, that's been courtesy of Fader's Music Store throughout the whole summer, and they're just so gracious that if we need anything for the sound system, they're there. And so, I mean, we really do have a lot of support, and then just with working with the art gallery and all the artists, I mean, it's just been quite the adventure and pretty good experience, let me tell
And
you.
many of the performers and artists are also volunteering for the event, is that right?
Yes, that's true. Like the photo booth that we have and the Viking demonstration, I mean, this is all volunteer work. I mean, they just want to get out there and educate people. So, I mean, we really couldn't do it without everybody giving up their time and helping put this on.
So people shouldn't really miss this opportunity to, just not only have fun, but they're also supporting all these people and this volunteer effort.
Right.
So they should be out there and eat and enjoy and bring their families over. Natalia, it's really interesting. You were mentioning in your background different cities, and also off cameras you were talking about your travels and all that. How do you see Culture Days in Brandon, which is fairly new, compared with, Culture Days in other cities, or even compared to general cultural life in bigger cities?
Well, I think the first Culture Days that happened, I was in Montreal, and it was still kind of gaining momentum, so there wasn't the same amount of large public events that it really grew into over the past number of years. And the way that Montreal celebrated Culture Days is that it actually opened artist studios. So artists were welcome to sign up, and there was a map, and you could walk around and enter artist studios. And I think part of the way that we're treating the events at the art gallery is to try to replicate that impression of actually going into an artist studio and seeing what it is that they do. And as well, there were kind of public concerts and things that were going on at the same time. It wasn't around when I was in Halifax, because that was a very long time ago. And because I'm originally from Moscow, there was definitely not that kind of an event there. But what was interesting while I was growing up is that culture was very much integrated into everyday life. So most people we knew went to all the exhibitions that happened in Moscow in the major museums. They went to plays and to concerts, not just if they were involved in the arts, but in general it was much more a part of kind of everyday life and common activities that people did.
And that's part of the idea of the Culture Days in Canada.
Absolutely.
Making culture part of everybody's life and everyday's life.
Exactly. And when I was traveling in London once for a conference, it was really amazing because all the cab drivers not only knew all the exhibitions that were going on at that time in London, but they could actually talk about them and tell you what it is that they advise that you go see. And they would say, oh, there's this really exciting thing going, but it's contemporary art installation, it's totally crazy. At Tate Modern, you absolutely must go to see it. And sort of unsolicited, like, cab driver chatter. So I found that really interesting there, and I really wish that there would be more of that integration and familiarity with the cultural life of a city here. And I hope that Culture Days really helps with that.
Yeah, and I think you said a key word, integration.
Yes.
And it seems to me like with this committee and this organizing of Culture Days, there is an effort behind of trying to integrate other community activities, such as the market and the gallery. What other initiatives are integrating into the Culture Days this year? You mentioned the International Women's Food and Craft Market. We have the Brandon Global Market, the Art Gallery.
Well, there's also Patchworks documentary series, which is happening also on the 27th and 28th at around the same time as both of our events. Into how artists and creative people work, and hear some things about their background and things like that.
Now, we're running out of time, but I'm really interested in one thing you mentioned before, the Photo Voice Project, because it is about immigrants, and ultimately this show is about diversity and all those topics. They gave cameras to immigrants,
yes,
so they could take pictures of and show other people how they see Canada, how they see our communities. So that's something you don't want to miss either, because it's always interesting seeing the world through other people.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating about that project is that I think even the researchers didn't expect, because the researchers were primarily Canadian and academics, and they didn't expect so many of the photographs to actually be about mainstream Canadians. They weren't about the specifically immigrant experience. They were about things that people who had recently moved to Brandon found to be strange, so they wanted to photograph them as part of this experience of getting to know the city. So, for example, they didn't really understand why Canadians feed ducks in parks and how that culturally has a place, or why it's a common activity in the summer to open your garage door and sit in your garage. That seemed very odd to them, and I actually have no answer to that one either, really.
I still wonder myself, why do people live on -40?
Yes,
But
exactly.
I don't know if they
Me too.
photographed
Your
that,
guess is
but-
as good as mine. I came from Russia, so really.
So we ran out of time, but it's been really interesting. Any last comment before we close?
Go to the Culture Days website, because all of that information that we just talked about is also there. And if you just
And-
type in Culture Days into Google, it comes up.
Yeah.
And you're able to search activities by city, so you'll be able to bring up all that fabulous schedule that we just recited.
Yeah.
Good. So as a matter of fact, I have the website here. It's www.culturedays.ca. Make sure you check it out, because all the events are listed there in case you don't have such a good memory as these two girls here, because I don't. So I'll be checking all the week. Make sure that September 27 you come to the art gallery or to the Brandon Global Market. And thanks for watching. This is Culture Cafe Diversity, and it's brought to you by WCGTV and Westman Immigrant Services. My name is Jaime Chinchilla, and see you next time.